It's warming up, T-Rex. 4 below zero. 53 inside the house. You ready to start the day? Yeah! Oh yeah. We're gonna play this game because I've never done it before. How cold is it? So cold that the varmints that live in the ground leave a frost track. So cold that T-Rex probably isn't going to stay with me this whole time. So cold that not only is boiling water steaming, so is the Fore River. So cold that you've got Slurpee waves. Look at all the critter trails. How many things live underneath your lawn? So cold that I can actually see the sea smoke coming up over Boston Harbor. So cold that the ice is built up on George Lane Beach. So cold, it's getting old, Tim. Ice is forming before our very eyes. Okay, let's try and do this. Watch out, T-Rex. I'm gonna move into the sunshine beyond where I can get you. Everyone that's been doing this online has had a tripod or someone else. Rex is really interested in what's gonna happen. You really don't wanna know, Rex. That was fast. Oh well. Enough with that show. So I got my gloves on. I have to take my gloves off to do that. Not sure what that is. Watched the moon set over there this morning. That was fabulous. Want to see the time lapse? Okay. So there's ice forming on the buoy. What is that? Is that a green buoy? I don't know what that is, honestly. And then way out there, we've had a lot of reports of these funnels coming off of the water. It's the same dynamic as when you boil water on the stove. It steams. It's a vapor pressure thing. Hello, God. Why is the sky so blue? Rayleigh scattering, technically. But everyone says, why is the sky so blue, really? Well, it has to do with the fact that this is very clean air coming from Canada, where there are fewer emissions up around Hudson Bay. And also it's very dry air, so fewer particulates. Well, the emissions will be particulates, but dry air, less white scattering. Moisture in the atmosphere does white scattering. And then as for the steam coming off, it's a water vapor pressure thing, and it is cold enough in the sky for ocean effect snows. Darius on the National Seashore. Always taking one for the team. Thank you, Darius, for sharing crazy blowing, drifting sand and snow on Cape Cod, likely coming around from the north, then the east, then the southwest. Cape Cod gets the most snow today, if it snows at all anywhere. The ski areas are opening on a delayed time today. Just as quickly as the cold came in, it's going to go out. Hard to explain how and why it got so cold. 46 below zero on Mount Washington. Well below what I was expecting. Just because I didn't see it upstream. This cold didn't as much move in as it did kind of dynamically happen right before our eyes with a bombogenesis, that low pressure system that went north of us yesterday merged with the old Texas ice storm and deepened 30 millibars in the last 24 hours over eastern Quebec, where I'm sure it's worse this morning than what we have here. And Mount Washington to minus 46 got into the tropopause. What does that mean? Well, we talk about why the air is so blue and everything. Well, the atmosphere is thinner in cold air because cold air is dense. So you look at things called the height or thickness from the ground level up to 500 millibars. You know, the pressure goes down up in the sky. And we look at this number 486 on the 500 millibar chart in northern Maine. It just means that to find 500 millibars, you only have to go up 486 decameters, a little less than 5,000 meters. The Arctic front is at 510 decameters, so we're well into the Arctic air. I hear you, Rex. I'm coming in. All right, sorry. I'll be right back. I bet you really don't care how many decameters it is to the 500 millibar level when it's 4 below zero. Sorry, Rex. Fingers freeze. Just taking off my glove back on to do this stuff with the camera. I hope you can hear me. Am I out of the wind? 486 decameters. That means that the tropopause came down to below the summit of Mount Washington. Now that also happened December 23, 24 in Mount Washington with a wind gust to 150 miles an hour, but temperature only went from 34 to minus 13. So that was a huge gradient that happened there right after the solstice. Speaking of gradient, yesterday in Miami, 88 degrees, record warm. Thank you, Brian. And Mount Washington, minus 46, record cold. So what is that, 136 degree temperature gradient? More than that. It's hard to do live math when you're freezing and thinking. But anyhow, the gradient is going to remain. It's going to relax. We're going to warm up dramatically. Mount Washington tomorrow afternoon could be near 32. So that'll be close to a 78 degree temperature rise in New England from this morning to tomorrow afternoon. All this ice will be gone. Maybe some pond hockey around here tomorrow morning with this kind of cold. I'll go measure the ice today, and tomorrow maybe ice skating. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow, although it's going to get windy again. The wind is going to relax late today, and tonight we'll get some radiational cooling, and then tomorrow just back to where we were. And if you look at the 14-day in Boston, look at the wave going up, and then, oh, there's a little dip down. You know, yesterday I showed the Euro with that warmer storm coming in here, middle or later half of next week. But then I looked at the GFS, and it was much colder, and then they flip-flopped in the last 24 hours. Now, the Euro is colder, and it shows after a mixed precipitation event here Thursday, Friday, perhaps a benchmark low next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, nor'easter. Who's up for that? In the meantime, lots of little things to monitor with the front very close to northern New England, so expect the unexpected again this week. It's been more of a play-by-play this winter, hasn't it? It's been a very warm and snowy winter so far, and this just one burst of cold kind of may spoil our spring because it's freezing the buds that we had. All right, before I left, I noticed that some of my Montauk daisies had turned green. All gone. All gone. There were green, oh, there's one right there. So that thing's frozen. We'll see how that does. And what about the pussy willows? The pussy willows were actually coming on pretty strong here. And the hydrangeas. So these buds are all frozen. We're going to see how this impacts our spring. Kind of sad in that respect that you have such a warm winter and then you can ruin your garden with one Hudson Bay vortex swinging through. All right. Hopefully you were a little bit informed and a little bit entertained. I froze my fingers off, and I really appreciate everyone else out there contributing with the videos and the audios to this once in a lifetime weather. Every day somewhere on earth. Once in a lifetime weather. I've never seen it so cold in eastern Massachusetts. Probably never will again. Oh yeah, you want some and more? How about my travel back from Vermont yesterday? There was snow on the ground just about all the way to Windham, New Hampshire. Then suddenly, no snow on the ground. All right, happy weekend. Talk to you tomorrow. Maybe I should do a YouTube live. No, it's too cold. Feel my fingers. Yeah, I know. Freezing, huh? Oh, warm them up. Warm them up. Thank you. Who's more fluffy, me or Steve? Yeah. I hope your pipes are all right. Pulling out Friday afternoon. Take the weekend off from skiing. Get some work done. It was great though. It's still snowing. white air. Just so cold. It's probably about 22 below, I guess. I haven't been able to find a thermometer. So snow's not going anywhere. Actually, I take that back. It's going to be drifting all over the place. So secret stashes all weekend. I'll be doing frostbite series on the shore tomorrow morning, which is probably this morning. All right, that sunrise lift is not operating, so the mountain is shut down early today. Snow-nado right there. Basically diamond dust. Oh, there's a good snow-nado up on that hill. Vortices. Did you see the steam devils coming off of Lake Champlain today?
Leaving us with wind chills in the minus 20 to minus 30 degree range all
Seems
day
like it's
long.
always snowing a little
Overnight,
harder.
lows are falling back into the teens
Past
and
Barrie.
20s below zero Saturday morning, with wind chills ranging between negative 30 and negative 40.
Negative
We're back
30,
above
negative
zero
40.
for Saturday
Come on,
afternoon.
car, you can make it.
In the 30s by Sunday.
420. There it is. Ha. It was kind of blizzardy there in Brookfield, a little bit scary. Hopefully the scary stuff is done. It's pretty deserted. Plenty of snow. Sunday looks good. Electric car fueling station in Hooksett, where there's still snow on the ground. I wonder how warm the Teslas are. And snow moon. Freezing fingers. Next 20 miles, the snow will completely disappear from the ground. Landed the colorful bridge. Blowing snow in Vermont turned into blowing leaves in Massachusetts. Just don't happen to hit anyway this second. Andrew and Sophie still sporting Christmas lights? Well, some kind of lights.